Hello, it's Fireplace Friday. I'm coming to you incognito. Oh, look at that! Look, I'm the champion, today. Oh yeah, there we go. Now that's more like it. That's kind of a Flues Brothers hat. See this, Cody? Come here. Oh, here we go. Meow. Hello, guys. I'm here for Fireplace Friday, and then I don't know what that's supposed to be. Maybe. Oh, okay. Flashlight. Oh, there we go. I'm Gandalf. There we go. It's kind of fun. So, anyways, enough with the silliness. Let me see if I can shut this off. Let's see here. Go live. There we go. Close. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Hey, there we are. Okay. We're going to keep it a little short today just because my cell phone didn't charge right last night. That's strange. I always plug it in right next to my bed, and then I use it as my alarm in the morning. But anyways, hey, so what we're going to talk about today, we are going to talk about, oh my God, my house is going to explode. All right, your house is not going to explode. You have a gas fireplace, and if it's having problems or it has a little delayed ignition, there's safety things set up on these gas fireplaces. So we occasionally get this call, oh my God, it's like my house is going to explode. Your house is not going to explode. Fireplaces, direct vent gas fireplaces is what we're going to talk about today, but most gas fireplaces with solid pane of glass, what have you, and most houses have safety mechanisms because, let's face it, if they were dangerous and your house was going to explode, houses would be exploding all over the place, and they probably wouldn't allow these fireplaces to be installed. But they have safety devices. So let's talk about the safety devices. So not only, let me see if I can turn this here, and we'll push some stuff out of the way. We got a couple of guys taking a certification test today, so we got extra stuff back here in the playhouse. So this is your standard gas fireplace. So let's start with the valve. So the valve has a pilot side that allows gas to flow into the pilot side and then the burner side. The pilot assembly, which is in there, has the little deal. It has a sensor, whether it's a electrode sensor or it's a thermopile, thermocouple, things like that heat up and tell the gas when to flow. So if anything happens where the pilot goes out, or the burner goes out, or something of that nature, the gas only stays on for like maybe 30 seconds, and then it will tell the valve that, hey, there's no heat, there's no electricity or millivolts being generated, so we need to shut this off, and then it shuts the gas off. So there's one of the safety mechanisms built in. Now, if we have delayed ignition, let's take a look at Kenai here. Come here, Kenai. Look, I got a visitor back here right now. That's Kenai. Hi, Kenai. Hello. Look, you're on Fireplace Friday. Look, hello. Oh, that's nice. All right, getting dog kisses. So, if you have a delayed ignition because maybe some embers are built up a little too far or whatever, if you have the delayed ignition, there's always going to be a little thump when the unit comes on or shuts off. That's just normal. It's just air and gas and things going through things. But if let's say something is wrong and the unit has a delayed ignition, which obviously isn't a good thing, a little bit of a thump or a little bit of a noise or whatever like that, something like that, that's usually what's called oil canning. That happens when the unit expands. But a little bit of a thump isn't abnormal. But if you have a bigger one, the glass typically won't bust out. See how that moves? It's strapped. See down here, it's got a spring loaded. So let's say gas would build up in there, and the gas would ignited. What would happen? Would the glass blow up? Would this whole thing blow up? No, it's got reliefs on it. So it would go thump, and it would relief right there. It would relief there. Usually there's things on the top that'll relief. So there's little relief deals. And if it's got that, then, so that safety's built in there. Let's see here. What else kind of safety stuff do we have? Obviously under the unit, there's usually a gas shutoff. So if you do get nervous about something and you need to call for service, the gas shutoff looks like this. And see how it's going with the line right now? You can turn it to the off position. well, I can't do it with one hand, but when it's with the line, it's on. When it's off the line, it's off. So that's another thing. It's Kenai. He's gonna get it turned for me. So. What else kind of safety things do we have in here? So we've talked about the valve that shuts the gas off if there's a problem. We've talked about the pilot hood assembly that tells the valve to shut off. We've talked about relief doors. Let's talk about smells. Another thing we get a lot of calls on is hey, I haven't used my fireplace in a long time, and now I've lit it up and it smells. It smells like gas. It smells like gas. Well, rest assured, when we come out to do service, we take a gas sniffer, which is a special device, and we check all the gas line and everything in the fireplace area for gas leaks. 90% of people who think they have a gas leak don't have a gas leak. What they're smelling is they're smelling burn off. So if you've ever lit your furnace on the heat setting for the first time of the year and it smells, it's usually just it's just dust, and it's a little bit of hot metal smell, things of that nature. Absolutely normal. So you've got to determine if you think you smell gas. Gas smells like gas. It doesn't smell like hot metal. It doesn't smell like dusty air, kind of a pungent smell. It smells like rotten eggs. They add that smell into the gas. So you know that's a gas leak. That's a gas leak. And if you think you have a gas leak, it's probably the first person I would call rather than the chimney company. If I think I have a gas leak in my house, it would be the gas company. And we tell people, look, if they call later after we've been out and they say, I keep smelling gas every time I use my fireplace. We'll tell them, hey, look, we tested all of that, and we even took a picture. We tested for carbon monoxide, everything else. We didn't find anything. So it could be that you don't have a gas leak at your fireplace. It's either nothing, number one, 90% of the time, nothing. It's not gas. It's not a gas smell. It's just an odd smell that you've never smelled. If it's gas, it has to smell like gas. It has to smell like rotten eggs. So we'll tell them, call the gas company. Gas company won't charge anything. They'll come out. And they go through and they check everything, because the ones that have found a gas leak, it's not typically the fireplace. It's usually some other part of the house, might be something outside the house, might be something that just failed or whatever, but it's typically not the fireplace. But rest assured, when we come out and do our service, we always check for gas leaks, and we find them. We do find them. We're able to fix them relatively simply. It usually doesn't require a bunch of parts or anything. Usually it's just a loose fitting, maybe a poorly installed gas fitting or something like that. And so it's usually a pretty simple fix, but we hardly ever find gas leaks. Where we do find gas leaks in houses is either on an open fireplace with just a gas log set installed, where they didn't put what's called pipe compound on a fitting or something, and they've always had that leak. When they turn the logs on, they didn't realize they got a little flame shooting out the side. So we give them a price, we get that fixed up, no problem. Or we find leaks in floor valves. So if you have an open fireplace and you have a valve on the floor, it's usually in the front of the fireplace or to the side, and you have to put a key in it and turn it, we actually test that when we're out there, because those valves are usually original to the house, and most houses are 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years old. And those do fail. The older ones used to have little rubber gaskets in them, and the rubber gaskets would dry out, and it would cause a little bit of a leak. Now, to test it, even if the gas line's capped in the fireplace, we turn the gas key, and then we put our little tester device down there and see if it reads any gas. And we find a lot of those. And then when you turn it off, it stops the leak. So if they want to use the gas at that point, that floor valve needs to be replaced. And we replace some. Sometimes we have to recommend a plumber if it's something more involved or whatever. We do basic gas repairs, and we do a lot of them because most of them are basic, but sometimes it's a little beyond, or they'll have to shut the service off or whatever for the house to get it. So we try to help you out with that. So what else? I think that about does it. I just wanted to go over, the fear of my house is going to explode, and tell you your house is not going to explode. It's very, very rare that a house explodes. Of course, you hear about, strange occurrences once or twice a year. Usually, those occurrences I found when you watch the news or whatever, it's it's either construction related or it's a new construction related, and someone didn't do something or some freak thing happened, and that's how houses explode. Rest assured, these appliances have safety devices built in to where your house won't explode. And that's the way, the government and manufacturers and everything else regulate these things, because no one wants to be responsible for a house exploding, and they don't want to have loss of life. We want to have good times and memories with fireplaces, not danger and fear. That's not what fireplaces are about. So if you have any fear, any concerns, anything like that, it's probably time to have your fireplace serviced. And when you have us out to service your fireplace and you have those concerns or you're wanting to use this, be available, be attentive. Try not to have a meeting going on at the same time or 5 other contractors at the house. Be attentive. Ask questions. Write them down. The minute you make the appointment, start writing questions down. My guys human beings love to answer questions because it makes you feel like you're special and that you know a lot and you're the expert. So, hey, this is a good thing. It's a good thing to have questions. Of course, you don't want to, keep the tech from doing their job or whatever and just pound them and pound them and pound them and over-ask and over-analyze and everything else. But at the same time, hey, can I watch how you test for gas leaks? Hey, I need to know how to light my pilot. Hey, how does that door come off so I can clean it myself? Because obviously if you can't do those items yourself, or if you don't want to do those items yourself, you're going to be paying for service calls over and over, because of course we can't charge one fee and come out 100 times. That's just not the way business works. The bills and the taxes and the insurance and the guys who are trying to make a living and everything else, we all have to have an income flowing through and returning to do free things, or because someone's got a concern because they didn't pay attention or they weren't at the appointment or whatever. That can cost companies thousands and thousands of dollars every year, and a lot of times there's a set of disappointment set up too, because we just simply can't be running around town all day for free. We have to do this. So be a good customer, be involved, be attentive. It's your appliance at the end of the day in your house, and you need to know as much as you can about it. We want to help you with that. Give us a holler, and that's what we do. All right. So anyways, I've rambled on long enough. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, make a comment, post a comment. I'm sure they'll tell me that I've got a comment or I need to answer something. That's great. I like to sound smart too. Short of that, have a great day. It's supposed to be a great weekend in the 60s or something like that around Kansas City. I'm looking forward to it. I get to go out and lay a little bit of brick on Monday. We're starting to get into brickwork for the season. So if you have brickwork that needs to be done, give us a holler. I think we've got like 10, 15 brick jobs on the schedule right now. So this is all good stuff. So anyways, keep in touch and have a great weekend. We'll see you next week for Fireplace Friday.